All right, class. Our topic today is absolute value equations. Anybody know what absolute value does? So there you go. Absolute value equation. Absolute values. Absolute values tell you the size of a number. Absolute values can never equal a negative number. Negative really tells you which direction you're going. Negative is left on the number line. So the absolute value always equals a positive number because it tells you its size. Let's do an example. Like, oh, I don't know, my favorite number of all time, 7. What's the absolute value of 7? Jeff? 7. 7. And like, Jeff, homie, what's the absolute value of negative 7? 7. Because both these numbers are a distance of 7 units away from 0. Let's take a look at that just graphically real fast. Here's 0, here's 7, here's negative 7. What I mean is that 7 is 7 units big. Negative 7 is also 7 units big. It's just in the other direction. Everybody's cool with that? Yeah? Did you guys know that? That's what absolute value does? Tells you the size? Yeah. Let's practice some examples. Like, oh, I don't know, number 1. The absolute value of x equals 8. Give me some possible solutions for the problem. What could the answers be? Olda, what's up, girl? Yeah. Yeah, totally. Negative 8 and 8 are definitely the answers. And I'm going to be putting my answers in all these different forms so you guys get used to seeing them. Whoa. Uh-oh. What happened? Come on, computer. Okay. But how could we go about doing these problems without just straight up guessing at them? Here's what you do. Whenever you see an absolute value problem, you break it. It's going to break off into 2 separate problems. You know, what happens when just the straight up value inside equals 8, right? That's one of our answers. But then you also have to consider what happens when the stuff inside were negative, because anything coming outside of the absolute value, once we release those like brackets, becomes positive. And so here's another possible solution, right? Negative x equals 8. We're going to divide both sides by negative 1. This is the really long way of doing it. Whoops. But totally legit, this process works every time, no matter how complicated the problems get. You guys are good? Nice. All right. So here we go. Now we're starting to build up equations, right? Absolute value equations. What are we going to do? What do you think step 1 is? Shoot. What's up? You can't just subtract it out of there. It doesn't work like that. I wish it did. It would be so nice. If there weren't those brackets, you would totally be right. It's a brilliant suggestion. John. Change. You know, 7 is one possible solution, so you're guessing and checking at it. That's also amazing. Brilliant, brilliant way. Jamel? Yeah. Now, while some of you have had some great suggestions, we're going to work on a process that's just going to be like universal. So we're going to break it up into 2 separate problems. What happens when the stuff inside, the quantity inside just equals 9? And then what happens, God forbid, if we had like, doesn't the negative quantity also equal 9? Whoops. Because anything coming out of the absolute values becomes positive. All right, so we're going to solve 2 separate ones. Now we'll just solve them. Subtract 2, subtract 2. Cancels away. X is going to be equal to 7. That's one solution. Over here, we have to distribute it in. Negative x minus 2. We're going to get, negative x equals 11. Divided by negative 1, x equals negative 11. I skipped some steps. That was just, I think you could just understand. So there's our 2 answers. I know you guys are going to get really annoyed at me now. Really, 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 really annoyed. Whenever you have absolute values, you'll find this a theme in this class. We're going to deal with complicated equations. We're going to use all the tools that you've ever learned. But sometimes you get what's called extraneous solutions. What do you think that means? Yeah, they're just extra. Do you think they work? So guess what we're going to have to do, which is the most annoying thing of all time. Nobody's going to want to do it. Everybody's going to ask, do I have to? And I'm going to be like, yes, you have to. What's up? Nope. Nope. Oh, yeah. I thought you said subtract. Yep. We're going to have to check. Always, always, always check your answers. Now, if the problem says in the directions itself, solve and check, you have to show your check. It will be part of the points awarded. If it just says solve, right, you are allowed to check them in your head. Okay? So let's check this guy in our head. Let's check this guy in our head. 7 plus 2 is 9, right? Absolute value of 9 is 9. What about this one? Negative 11 plus 2 is what? Negative 9. What's the absolute value of negative 9? So they both work. They both work. X equals 7 and negative 11. And I'm going to put a box around it. That's just me. All right, here we go. Let's do 3. What's step 1? What is step 1? What do we do? We're going to break it. Yep. We are going to break it on up. Break it on up. 2 each side. Whoops. Come on. So this is going to be 2x minus 4 equals 10. And then we're going to solve them real fast. This is going to be 2x equals 14. X equals 7. Then this is going to get distributed inside. Negative 2x plus 4. Right? Okay. All right, what do we do at the end? Hold up. Okay. So what do we do? What do we do? It's the most annoying thing in the whole world. What's up? Yeah, we got to check it. Let's show this check this time. I know people are going to revolt against it. Let's show our check. Let's see, we got our original, 2. We're going to plug in 7. So 2 times 7 minus 4 equals 10. That's 14 minus 4. That's going to be the absolute value of 10 equaling 10. And 10 does equal 10. Yes, that's nice. That's awesome. Let's do the other one. Yeah, you got to check both of them. Because one of them might not work. Obviously, that's totally going to happen next, right? So I mean in the next problem, because I think it works here. I'm not sure, though. 2 times negative 3 minus 4 equaling 10. Let's just see. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Negative 6 minus 4 is negative 10. Nice. So both of them work. Both of them are solutions. We're just going to circle them up. There you go. All right, number 4, stepping our game up a whole nother notch. 5x minus 4 plus 18 equals 8. What are you guys thinking? What do you think we do first? Raven. Raven, you are amazing, girl. You're totally right. Yep, that's the first thing we want to do. Get the absolute value by itself. So that's the absolute value of 5x minus 4 equals 8 minus 18 is negative 10. What are you guys thinking? What's next? Give you a hint. What do you think is next? Nothing. Why is nothing next? Because it's a negative. Absolute values can never equal a negative number. Watch out for this. You could do all this crazy work. I mean crazy work, a page of it, only to find out after you've written your answers down that you get absolutely no credit and you should have stopped at step 2. Okay? So let's write this down. Let's write the answer down, and then we'll write down the reason why. If you were to try and give your answer, it will look like this. Or you could write no solution. You know? And why is it the case? Absolute value can't equal. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm sorry. I apologize. I've done that before. I've given that definition and people got confused, and I spent a lot of time last night thinking of a way to rewrite it. There is no number whose absolute value is negative. I thought this was a better definition, but we'll see. We'll see come test time. No number whose absolute value is negative. None. Not a single soul. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's crazy. We got an x on the other side. We got an 18. What do we do first? I'm not sure. What do you think we do first? Carly. You're amazing, Carly. Great job, girl. Yeah, we're going to be adding 18 to the other side. We're going to just try and get the absolute value by itself. That's our first step every single time. Cancel that off. We've got absolute value of x plus 6 equals 2x plus 18. Bless you. What's next? Once it's isolated, we're going to break. We're going to put a break. We're going to try and think of the two possibilities, right? One possibility is certainly that x plus 6 could equal 2x plus 18. No, definitely. And then the other possibility is that the stuff inside those absolute values, right, the negative version of it could also equal 2x plus 18. And then we just got to solve both equations. So here's what happens when you solve both equations, right? We got these two answers. What's the most annoying thing of all time that you must do with absolute values at the end? Oh, so annoying. So let's talk. Here's the first part of my check. I just subbed in negative 12. What happened? What did we get? Did it work out in the end? No. No, it did not. It did not. So guess what we're going to have to do to this negative 12? It's what happened to me almost every single day of high school. You know what happened? Got rejected. Okay. Reject this. Reject this. Reject it. Rejected. You could either write that word reject, you could just put an X through it. That's cool. Let's just make sure negative 8 works because we've already seen a scenario where there literally is no answer. So there you go. We did our other check. Negative 8 totally works. Negative 8 totally works. Let's circle it up. This is our own. Oh, boo. That's messed up. That was the end, too. Come on. Negative 8 totally works. It's our only answer. You could do it like this. You could put the funny brackets around it. I'm cool with that, though.